Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Dr. Shahana and we are studying the pharmacy practice. We have discussed the basic information about the prostate cancer. What is prostate cancer? Prostate cancer is a malignant neoplasm that arises from the prostate gland. It is indolent, sometimes it is localized and sometimes it is metastatic. This is the cancer which is one of the cancers that are curable either by surgery or radiation therapy. However, advanced prostate cancer is not curable yet. And now certain researches have been going on for the development of certain type of chemotherapeutic drugs. Now we know that the normal prostate is composed of the acinar secretory cells that are altered. Due to the mutagenicity, the cancer is produced, which is a type of the cancer of the glandular tissues called as the adenocarcinoma, and it is the carcinoma which is found in about 95% cases. This is of two types. Either it is well differentiated. If it is well differentiated, it will be slow. However, if it is poorly differentiated, then there will be the loss of control of the cells, cell cycles and apoptosis. There will be the fast replication of the cancerous cells. Just like other cancer, this cancer has a tendency of the metastasis, and the most affected site are the skeletal muscles. Skeletal metastasis is the most dangerous one. Other sites where the stasis are common are lungs, liver, brain and adrenal glands. How the management of the prostate cancer is done, and the management is basically based on the hormonal therapy. The rationale is that the hormones are mainly responsible, just like androgens and testosterone, that have a effect on the growth, enhancement and effect on the differentiation process of the normal prostate. So testes and the adrenal glands are the major source of the androgens that are especially dihydrotestosterone, that is mainly responsible for the pathogenesis of the prostate cancer. Two regulatory hormones are there. One is released from the hypothalamus, which is the luteinizing hormone releasing hormone, and another is the follicle stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary gland. Both regulate the concentration of the testosterone from the testes. In case of cancer, their levels are LH, RH and LH and FSH are normally low as compared to the normal because of the negative feedback mechanism. As in cancer stage, there is an elevation of the dihydrotestosterone and the testosterone. One thing was left in the previous lecture is the chemo prevention, that sometimes certain drugs are used to prevent the occurrence or incidence of the prostate cancer. The risk of the prostate cancer, and this was determined in the clinical trial. In clinical trial, it has been found that those patients which are suffering from the benign prostate hyperplasia (BPH), if they are using the finasteride, they have less tendency to convert BPH to the prostate cancer. In some patients, finasteride is also effective. However, this ratio is up to 25%. The rate on the reduction or the prevalence of the prostate cancer on the morbidity and mortality has not been demonstrated yet, which need to be assessed in future research. So there is a chance that if the person is suffering from BPH, benign prostate hyperplasia, the conversion of benign one into the malignant one will be prevented by the use of the finasteride. We have discussed the clinical presentation of symptoms that localized prostate cancer is usually asymptomatic. Invasive prostate cancer is associated with the urethral dysfunction. These changes are the alteration in maturation, urinary frequency, hesitancy, etc. Advanced disease commonly represents the back pain and stiffness, and this stiffness is basically due to the skeletal muscle involvement and the spreading of the cancer to the bone. Osseous metastasis. If the metastasis is gone up to the spinal cord, there will be a compression of the spinal cord as well. If there is an obstruction of the lymphatic obstruction, then there will be edema. Finally, there may be anemia or there may be a weight loss, which are the non-specific signs of the advanced disease. For treatment, I have uploaded a book recently in a Google class. You have to go through the chapter number 68 for the pharmacotherapy handbooks. Certain additions however I have made in this lecture due to the changing in the current scenario. प्रीवियसली जो ट्रीटमेंट प्रोटोकॉल था वो ये था और उसमें मैंने कुछ चीजें ऐड अप की हैं जो कि आपको उस चैप्टर में नहीं मिलेंगी. आपने पूरा लेक्चर भी देखना है, साथ साथ आपने ये बुक को भी रेफर करना है. Initial treatment is mainly depend on the disease stage, lesson score and the presence of the symptoms and what is the expectancy of the patient life. कितनी साल तक जिंदा रह सकता है, उस एक्सपेक्टेंसी पे ट्रीटमेंट जो है वो प्रोटोकॉल जो वो डिफरेंट करेगा एंड इट इज वेरी फ्रॉम पेशेंट टू पेशेंट. The most appropriate therapy for the early stage prostate cancer is still unknown. However, there is a different type of protocol to reduce the mortality and morbidity. Surgery and radiation therapy are supposed to be curative if it is localized one. However, if the prostate cancer is advanced and the main focus on the providing the symptomatic relief and improving the quality of the life of the person. However, in case of prostate cancer, mostly it is very slow growth and the progression is not so much rapid that it go up to the advanced stage. Cure rate is high in case of the prostate cancer. For the idea of the treatment protocol, you have to go through the table number 64.1 for the management that are recommended based on the risk of the recurrence. यानी क्या टेंडेंसी है, किस बेसिस पे हम जो है वो ट्रीटमेंट और गोल्स को सेट करेंगे एंड इट इज बेसिकली रिकमेंडेड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द रिस्क ऑफ द रिकरेंस कि कितनी दफे वो जो कैंसर है वो दोबारा अगर हो जाएगा तो फिर हमें किस तरह उसको डील करना है. We have discussed that normal localized one के लिए we have the therapy of radiation and surgery. However, for the management of the advanced prostate cancer, androgen ablation is necessary. Ablation means that we remove the part of the organ that is responsible for the cancerous growth. In this case, it is the prostate. Either orchiectomy is performed or this androgen ablation can be carried out with the pharmacological agents like luteinizing hormone, releasing hormone agonists or without anti-androgens. If the disease is progressed, then we can add up the certain types of secondary hormonal manipulations along with the cytotoxic chemotherapeutic agents that are usually reserved for the end stage of the cancer, and it is supported by the certain types of pre-medication and post-medication, which is the part of the cancerous regimen. Now, briefly, we are going through this table number 64.1. According to the recurrence rate, the very early stage of the prostate cancer has a very low chances of the recurrence, and it is supposed at the T1 stage. And in this, the expected survival time is up to the 20 years. यानी अगर ये यंग एज में डायग्नोज हुआ है और वेरी अर्ली स्टेज है तो इनिशियल थेरेपी इज रिजर्व अप टू ऑब्जर्वेशन और रेडिकल प्रोस्टेक्टोमी व्हिच इज द कंप्लीट रिमूवल ऑफ द प्रोस्टेट ग्लैंड विद और विदाउट pelvic lymph node dissection or only the radiation therapy. Second stage of the prostate cancer is the low recurrence rate, in which there is a tendency of the stage 1 to stage 2 and the Gleason score is about 2 to 6, while PSA, which is the prostate specific antigen, is less than 10 nanogram per ml, near to normal. This stage also gives the therapy. In this stage, we go for the therapy of the observation or the radical prostatectomy or observation. For intermediate stage, in which the Gleason score is about 7 and PSA is in between 10 to 20 nanogram, the treatment protocol is now started, and in which there is a chance of the conversion of the localized prostate cancer into the metastatic prostate cancer. For that purpose, after the radiation therapy, there may be androgen deprivation therapy, which we will discuss in the lecture. क्योंकि हम आज लेक्चर में डिस्कस करेंगे. At this stage, drug therapy and the radiation therapy along with the surgical approach may be started. अगर एज इतनी ज्यादा हो चुकी है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल 60 इयर्स का पेशेंट है तो 10 साल से जिंदा नहीं रहेगा, तो सर्वाइवल रेट उसका लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी इतनी ज्यादा नहीं है और रिकरेंस रिस्क भी ज्यादा है। जैसे स्कोर बढ़ता जा रहा है और पीएचडी भी का लेवल भी बढ़ रहा है, देन वी विल गो अप टू द रेडिएशन थेरेपी। क्योंकि अगर जो रेडिएशन थेरेपी एंड जो एंडोजन रिपेराइड थेरेपी है हम उसकी तरफ जाएंगे, because there are several types of toxic effects of the endogen reperoid therapy जो कि मैनेज करना मुश्किल है। If GSM score is more than 8 up to 10 and PSA is greater than 20 nanogram per ml, there is a high recurrence rate and there is the treatment will change from the radiation therapy to the radical prostatectomy along with the inclusion of the pharmacological measures, and that is ADT. Same in that case of the high, very high and in very, very high recurrence rate. In all these conditions, we will go for the treatment protocol which we will discuss in this video lecture. So first, non-pharmacological therapy is just to observe or watchful waiting that involves the monitoring of the prostate cancer as well as the initiation of the treatment if the cancer is progressed. For that purpose, we are continuously monitoring the PSA level and DRE at every 6 month interval. As we have discussed कि ये बहुत slow growth cancer है and यहाँ पे जब initial stage में हम देखें तो वो slow growth of progress नहीं हो रहा और PSA और DRE within the normal limit है। तो every 6 months we will check कि PSA and DRE alter हो रहे या नहीं हो रहे। If they are altering, it means कि the cancer is going to be, then we will go for the treatment strategy. What is the advantage? क्योंकि अगर usually observation में हम देखते हैं कि initially in male prostate cancer start होता है BPH से. What is BPH? Benign prostate hyperplasia. Initially सिर्फ prostate का size increase होगा and that one is a benign one. Carcinogenic भी नहीं है. जब वो carcinogenic नहीं है तो it is useless to initiate the drug therapy that disrupt the normal physiological system of the reproductive system of a man. So to prevent the risk factor to the patient, we are initially just observing the patient. If the PSA level and DRE is changing within 6 months, then we will go for the other treatment protocol that are mentioned here. The major disadvantage is that there is a chance that cancer immediately progress and there may rapid progression from one stage to the higher stage. तो एक इस तरह का एडवांटेज ये हो सकता है कि कैंसर बहुत जल्दी प्रोग्रेस करती है, उसमें काउंसलिंग की जरूरत होती है पेशेंट को कि काउंसिल किया जाए प्रॉपर्ली कि अगर पेशेंट को कोई ऐसी सिम्टम्स हो रही है जो कि ड्रास्टिक हो रही है और देयर इज अ चेंज इन द फिजिकल कंडीशन ऑफ द पर्सन प्रोस्टेट कंडीशन, तो इमीडिएटली ही शुड कांटेक्ट विद द फिजिशियन सो दैट कि उसके बाकी जो टेस्ट है वो मॉनिटर हो सके. After the observation, next non-pharmacological therapy is the surgery and the radiation. And there may be a bilateral orchiectomy, that is the removal of the testis, or there may be a complete removal of the prostate gland. After the complete removal, there may be may be also followed by the radiation therapy. Now the treatment is advances. Instead of the radical prostatectomy, there may be a chance of the laparoscopic prostatectomy, that is the specific region which is responsible for the carcinogenesis will be removed. Or there may be a retropubic surgery that we have discussed in the previous section. What are the problems that are facing by a person when we are going to these types of the treatment? Basically, bilateral orchiectomy basically release or reduces the circulating androgens up to the castrate level, that in which we are completely eradicate the reproductive system from a person. However, many patients are not go for the surgery and due to the advanced age or due to the psychological unacceptable conditions. So initially, orchiectomy is preferred initial treatment for the patients with impending spinal cord or any urethral obstruction. Both type of these surgical treatments have a high potential of the cure. However, they are associated with different types of complications and the physician must assess according to them against the expected benefit. Due to this condition, several patients are there which psychologically unwanting the surgery and they postpone the surgery, and then due to the postponement of the surgery, the first stage of the cancer convert into the metastatic cancer that may be dangerous. Furthermore, there are certain acute complications as well. What are the complications of the radiation therapy? For the radiation therapy, there may be an inflammation of the bladder, that is cystitis. There may be a bursitis, maybe a bleeding, or there may be a urinary retention. There may be edema, or there may be an impotency. And chronic complications of the radiation therapy include the inflammation of the proctitis or diarrhea, cystitis, enteritis, and there may be urethral stricture formation and incontinency. In previous lecture, we have discussed the two types of the radiotherapy, that may be an external beam radiotherapy, or it may be a brachytherapy, that radioactive seeds are implanted in the prostate gland that emits certain types of radiation and lead to the deprivation of the cancer cells. There may be ablation technique that is require the freezing or heating, and ablation is usually a surgical procedure in which we prone the prostate gland to the freezing, or we increase the temperature of the prostate gland by high intensity focused ultrasound. By either of these treatment, complete ablation of the prostate gland is done. These are the newer techniques. If we talk about the pharmacological therapy, here is mainly a different type of the approach. The first approach is the hormonal therapy, and sometimes it may be possible that hormonal therapy alone is not capable of eradication the cancer of the prostate gland. For that purpose, we combine the androgen therapy with other types of agents in the form of the regimen that is called as the CAP, that is combined androgen blockade. Or this regimen may be combined with any other type of the combination which is called as the triple androgen blockade, that is TAB-CAP. And furthermore, if the rest of the complete hormonal therapy is failed to control the advanced prostate cancer, we will go for the chemotherapeutic drugs which comes under the alternative drug treatments. Now, first of all, we will discuss the hormonal therapy. What is the goal of the hormonal therapy? The goal is to reduce the main hormone, that is androgens, mainly responsible for the differentiation and the growth of the prostate cancer. Lower the testosterone, lower the dihydrotestosterone, that will lower the prevalence of the cancer in the body. It lowers the spread of the cancer to different types of the organ, that is skeletal muscles, that is bones, or the bladder or rectum. We have different types of drugs that can have an ability to lower the testosterone levels. What are these? Among them, luteinizing hormone blockers are the main drugs which are the treatment of first choice. These luteinizing hormone blockers stop the pituitary gland and that make the hormone, so that the testicles did not receive the message to prepare the testosterone. यानी हम pituitary gland के लेवल पे हार्मोन को ब्लॉक कर रहे हैं. What are the examples of the luteinizing hormone LH blockers? The examples are the leuprolin, gastrorelin, buserelin, triptorelin, and histrorelin. These drugs are given as an injection or they either implanted under the skin. These drugs are considered as a first choice for the pharmacological hormonal therapy for treatment of the prostate cancer. Now, what you should do? Now, students should add up the name of these drugs in the list of the kind that you are making for the anti-cancer drug. आपको क्या करना है कि अब तक जितनी हम कैंसर की ड्रग्स पढ़ चुके हैं, तो उसका जो प्राइम फॉर्मेट का जो टेबल है आपने वो बनाना है. एक कॉलम में एक ड्रग होगी उसकी तमाम, और आपने उसकी कॉलम्स, एक रॉ में एक ड्रग होगी और कॉलम्स के अंदर आपने मल्टीपल ऑब्जर्वेशन देनी जो कि प्राइम का फॉर्मेट है. उसके हिसाब से आपने तमाम एंटी कैंसर ड्रग्स को फॉर्मेट पे लिखना है. उसमें आपने ये जो ड्रग्स है इनको भी इंक्लूड करना है. This is the classwork of today's lecture. These drugs or these agonists, that is LH-RH agonists, are a reversible method of androgen ablation and they are as effective as the orchectomy. However, comparison is mainly based on the clinical trial. और clinical trial में हमारे पास you know that इतनी patients available नहीं होते कि data collect हो सके. So enough data is not available. However, on the basis of the cost of the surgery and the cost of the drug is preferred over the surgery, and it is the patient and physician preference. Most of the patients want to avoid the surgery. Surgery से cure rate high है, लेकिन cure patient compliance कम है surgery की. So these drugs are implanted और several depots are available. आपने क्या करना है कि जब आप 9 notes में addition करेंगे तो उसकी जो brand name से वो भी आप उसमें mention करेंगे कि कौन सी brands available है, क्या उनकी price है, and dosing interval those should be mentioned in your classwork. Dosing interval, what will be the dosing interval? If they are prescribed either once monthly to every 16 weeks. One more important thing is that leuprolide implant is available in a once-year dosing, in which daily dose of the leuprolide is dispensed automatically by the administration of the mini osmotic pump that delivers daily doses for the 1 year. For that purpose, the patient compliance is too much high कि उसने खुद से नहीं लेना patient को automatically जो drug है वो deliver हो जाएगी blood में, and this is for the 1 year preparation. What are the adverse effects? The most common adverse effects initially is the flare-up of the disease because they are agonists. Initially, they will increase the concentration of the testosterone and the dihydrotestosterone. That is followed by the negative feedback mechanism that reduces the concentration. So, at the initial stage, there may be a flare-up of the disease, that is the increase of the prostate cancer. Furthermore, testosterone is mainly or estrogen, both are involved in the thermoregulatory centers, and their low concentrations is mainly responsible of the occurrence of the hot flushes. Patient will feel heat, बहुत ज़्यादा गर्मी लगेगी उसे. Then there may be compression or reduction of the reproductive system, that is the erectile dysfunction. There may be impotency, there may be a decreased libido, and there may be an injection on the site of the reaction. To avoid the initial flare-up of the disease, usually these luteinizing hormone blockers are given along with the anti-androgens, that is flutamide or miclotamide or nilotamide prior to the initiation of the LH-RH therapy for 2 to weeks after, and the strategy is to minimize the initial tumor flare-up. Another problem regarding this therapy is the reduction in the bone mineral density. As you all know that testosterone and estrogen both are responsible for the good functioning of the bone, and osteoblast activity is basically under control of these two hormones, that is the estrogen and the dihydrotestosterone and testosterone. Their reduction in the level will causing the reduction or decrease in the bone mineral density. It complicates the androgen-deprived therapy. That result in the increased chances of the osteoporosis. There may be an osteopenia, and there are too much skeletal fractures. How to reduce the osteopenia and skeletal fracture? For that purpose, we should add up the calcium and vitamin D supplements, and we should continuously monitor the bone mineral density. Both should continuously done in order to prevent such type of problems. Second choice is the gonadotropin releasing hormone antagonist, and the drug is Degavelix. This Degavelix binds reversibly to the gonadotropin releasing hormone receptors in the pituitary gland. It reduces the production of the testosterone within the 7 days or within 5 days. What is the major advantage of the Degavelix over the LH-RH agonist? That it delays the tumor flare-up, यानी tumor flare-up नहीं होगा, और जो normal जो initial conversion है prostate gland की cancer के advancement की, वो यहाँ पे observe नहीं होगी. How it is administered? It is hormone antagonist. So IV or subcutaneous route is the most suitable route. Subcutaneous injections are available, and they are injected after every 28 days. Injection site reactions are reported, and these reactions are including the pain, erythema, swelling, etc. Third hormonal approach is the use of the anti-androgens. However, they are not considered as a first choice. They stop the androgens from working by binding to the receptors. The cancer can't be able to grow. Monotherapy is now banned, and they are not longer recommended as a monotherapy. The examples were the flutamide, miclotamide, and nilotinib. Usually they are given along with the LH-RH agonist therapy in a combination form. Secondly, they are indicated for the advanced prostate cancer only when they combine with the LH-RH agonist, or they are combined with the orchidectomy, that is the removal of the testis. When they are combined with the LH-RH, they reduces the androgens, they reduces the chances of the tumor flare-up. Now you have to add these 3 drugs in your list to make the prime note. आपके प्राइम नोट के फॉर्मेशन में आपने ये लिस्ट आपने पूरी एक लिस्ट बना लेनी है, ताकि आपकी जो ड्रग्स यूरिन की फार्मेसी स्टडीज पढ़ी है उसका आपने प्राइम नोट बनाना है. ये आपका मेन टारगेट है. एटलीस्ट यू शुड हैव अ लिस्ट ऑफ 200 ड्रग्स. इसका प्राइम नोट अवेलेबल हो, ताकि आप एट अ ग्लैंस आप उसको देखें और आपको सारा डाटा रिकॉल हो. यू हैव टू मेक इट्स प्राइम नोट. ये आपका क्लास करके आपने ये जो ड्रग्स है इसमें ऐड होती चली जाएंगी वन बाय वन. आपस में क्या डिफरेंस है ये भी आपने डिटरमिन करना है कि व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस ऑफ दी माइक्लोटामाइड या फ्लूटामाइड और इंजुलोटामाइड. इन तीनों में क्या डिफरेंस है वो आपने मुझे बताना है. Among all three, enzalutamide is mainly approved as a single agent in a metastatic hormone-resistant prostate cancer, and especially in those patients in which the person is receiving the docetaxel. They are the receptor antagonists. Certain other types of the anti-androgens are also there, which differently or they simply block the synthesis of the dihydrotestosterone. And among them, 5-alpha reductase inhibitor is the most common one that blocks the conversion of testosterone to the active dihydrotestosterone. Example is the finasteride or dutasteride. Again, you have to include in your prime note list. A newer drug that is the abiraterone is also there, which are mainly reserved for the relapsed cases. And there is research that in recent advances has demonstrated that there are several pathways in which androgens are prepared by the adrenal gland and from the testis, and several enzymes are involved. Among them, an enzyme which is called as CYP17, STRIPE17. It is mainly highly expressed in the tumor specifically, not in the normal cell. This drug binds this enzyme. This is an oral agent. It inhibits this enzyme CYP17 that is required for the androgen in the cancer cell. And what are these sources? 3 sources are there: either adrenal gland, either testis, or either prostate tumor. At all 3 levels, it inhibits the synthesis of the biosynthesis of the androgens. Usually it is given along with the prednisone or prednisolone. A new drug is being studied in the clinical trial, ortironal, that works similar to the abiraterone. However, it is found that the same enzyme has been blocked with more precisely in the tumor or the prostate tumor. As we have discussed that abiraterone basically block the enzyme in all 3 organs, like in prostate, like in adrenal gland, and as well as in the testis. However, for this drug, which is the ortironal, is more precisely selective in case of the cancer or of the prostate cancer. The same therapy is given along with the prednisolone. Currently, it is only available in the clinical trial. What are the side effects of the anti-androgens? These are summarized in the table 64.2. We will discuss it in a separate lecture. Another pharmacological approach is the combined androgen blockade, that is the CAB, and the triple androgen therapy, that is the TAT. First line of the treatment is the combination of anti-androgens with the luteinizing hormone receptor blockers. It is called as the combined androgen blockade at 2 levels. Both levels पे आपने pituitary और adrenal gland के level पे दी and at the level of the gonadal that is the testis and the prostate. At both levels, we are mainly blocking the effect of the testosterone. अभी हमने synthesis block नहीं की, तो combination of or combined androgen blockade में we are just blocking the effect of the testosterone on its receptor. पिट्यूटरी लेवल पे भी या गोनेडल लेवल पे, बोथ पे हमने सिर्फ और सिर्फ उसकी कंसंट्रेशन को रिसेप्टर पे बाइंड होने से रोका है. While in case of critical androgen blockade, in this blockade we are mainly add the 5-alpha reductase in the combination so that synthesis of testosterone is also blocked, that is dihydrotestosterone is now not synthesized. What are the alternative drug treatments? These alternative drug treatments mainly involve the chemotherapy. It mainly depends upon the initial therapy. Initial therapy है, ठीक है, तो रेडियोथेरेपी कैन बी यूज आफ्टर दी रेडिकल प्रोस्टेक्टोमी. यानी रेडियोथेरेपी हम कब यूज कर रहे हैं, जब हमने प्रोस्टेट ग्लैंड को रिमूव कर दिया है, उसके बाद हम रेडियोथेरेपी करें सो दैट सिंगल सेल विल बी किल्ड आफ्टर दी बाय द रेडिएशन. As per previous treatment protocol we have gone through, उसमें हमने देखा है कि we have to reduce the testosterone level. If the testosterone level are not suppressed by the previous treatment, or that is the after the use of the luteinizing hormone receptor blocker, or after the use of anti-androgens, or after the cholecystectomy, then if the testosterone level are suppressed, however the disease is progressed, it means that it is independent of the androgens and now it is low, or the prostate cancer become advances instead of the lower concentration of the testosterone. It means कि हमने टेस्टोस्टेरोन को लो कर दिया है, लेकिन इसके बावजूद भी कैंसर प्रोग्रेस हो रहा है. फॉर दैट पर्पस वी विल गो फॉर द कीमोथेरेपी. फर्दरमोर यू मस्ट नो दैट कि इनिशियल थेरेपी जो दी गई थी कि उसको हमें स्टॉप करना होगा. क्यों? क्योंकि प्रीवियस जो थेरेपी थी वो कंट्रोल नहीं कर रही है. टेस्टोस्टेरोन लो करने का भी कोई फायदा नहीं है कैंसर के ग्रोथ पे. फॉर दैट रीजन वी हैव टू रिड्यूस और वी हैव टू withdraw the LHRH agonist along with the anti-androgens. Why? Because continuous use also lead to the mutation of the receptors, and these due to the mutations of the receptors as it is already in the carcinogenic state. जहाँ पे mutation है, and further mutation अगर हो जाएगी receptors में, तो anti-androgens become agonist, and these agonists will further worsen the cancer. So that for that purpose we have to stop LHRH, we have to stop anti-androgens, and we will proceed to the chemotherapy. Androgen synthesis inhibitors in this case just provide only symptomatic relief, and about 50% of the patients are got relief in this case. Those drugs that are interfering with the synthesis, just like aminoglutamide, just like ketoconazole, and just like the abiraterone, that is an enzyme blocker, they are result in the decreased circulating levels of the testosterone. So we have to review the medication profile for those agents if they are using concurrently with the other types of drugs. Chemotherapy is a drug of choice in the prostate cancer, which is independent of the testosterone level, and if the cancer has spread out from the prostate gland and there is a metastasis, to control such type of metastasis and provide palliative treatment, two types of the taxane derivatives are preferred. These are docetaxel and the cabazitaxel. Usually docetaxel is given or combined with the steroid drug, that is the prednisolone. Now search that why these drugs are given with the steroids. Steroids के साथ हम क्यों दे रहे हैं? If docetaxel is not given, and furthermore you should also tell me what is the main side effect of the docetaxel. ये हम पहले डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. docetaxel के main adverse effect क्या होते हैं? अगर docetaxel जो है वो किसी वजह से contraindicated है, then second choice will be the cabazitaxel. It stop the fast growing cancer that are irresponsive of the hormonal therapy. All regimens and doses are given in the same book. You have to calculate its body surface area or the setting of the dose. Docetaxel is prescribed according to the body surface area, that is 75 mg per meter square after 3 weeks. And it is combined with the prednisone. The dose of the prednisone is the 5 mg twice daily. That improves the survival rate of the prostate cancer, especially in the case of the refractory prostate cancer. The main adverse effects are the general effects are same, that is nausea, vomiting, alopecia, GI irritant, and there is a myelosuppression. If Carbaxyl is used, the dose will be the 25 mg per meter square after every 3 weeks with prednisone 10 mg daily. That significantly improves the progression-free and overall survival. There is neutropenia, there is febrile neutropenia, neuropathy and diarrhea due to these are the adverse effects. Other chemotherapeutic agents may be checked. They are mainly the taxane derivative, or they may be the doxorubicin or etoposide, or they may be avenastine, saccharomycin and carboplatin. You should know which cycle पे ये कौन सी cycle को ये block करें और ये वाले prefer क्यों हैं. If the prostate cancer is spread to the bone and it is metastasized, then there is another treatment option, which is the use of the radium-223 dichloride. Recently, it is approved by the FDA, which is come under the brand name of the Xofigo. It is used to treat certain men with the advanced prostate cancer. Available in an injectable form, given once in a month. What is the mechanism? It binds with the minerals present in the bone and provide or eliminate radiations directly to the bone tumors. So in this case, it prevents the damage to the surrounding normal tissue. Certain types of vaccines are also approved for the treatment of the advanced prostate cancer, and these vaccines are mainly designed to prevent the disease. However, but this vaccine is normal जो vaccines होती हैं उनका क्या function होता है उनका normal vaccines are designed to prevent the disease. However, this vaccine is aimed to treat the prostate cancer, not to prevent. I have different types of case study regarding the cancer. I will upload the pictures of the case study. You have to rule out according to the workflow of the pharmaceutical care. Each study should separately done, and it is the class work basically. The pattern should be followed up to the prime note. You can see this pattern was already previously shared with you. This is the another pattern. Whatever the pattern you are suitable, you have to go for that. And each drug should be converted in such column. एक तरह का आपने टेबल बनाना है और हर एक ड्रग के आगे उसकी हेडिंग डाल के आपने डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द थिंग जो कि आप गेट कर सकते हैं, आपने वो चीजें खुद ही डिटरमिन करनी है. ठीक है. Then say that recently जो मैंने बुक अपलोड की है फार्माकोथेरेपिकल अप्रोच की जो मैंने बुक अपलोड की है उसमें इस तरह से यूजुअल डोज मेंशन है, टॉक्सिसिटी मेंशन है और व्हाट आर दी हेपेटिक एंड मिनरल एडजस्टमेंट, व्हाट विल बी द मॉनिटरिंग पैरामीटर्स, व्हाट विल बी द ड्रग इंटरैक्शन, व्हाट विल बी द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. हियर यू हैव टू ऐड द ब्रांड नेम, डोजेज फॉर्म अवेलेबल एंड चेंजेस इन द डोजेज इन द जेरियाट्रिक, एल्डरली एंड दी विमेन, वो आपने वो भी इसमें इंक्लूड करना है. और एनी अदर जो भी इसमें अगर कोई मजीद कॉलम अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस एग्जाम्पल आपने अगर इसमें ऐड करना है तो आप ऐड कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. If you want to add mechanism, you can add. If you want to know the relationship with the therapy, you can add. You have to make a prime note in this tabular form. Tabular form में बनाना है 1 by 1 each drug. आप देख सकते हैं फार्माकोथेरेपी की बुक है. और जब आप एक टेबल में आप चीजें बनाते हैं तो आप फौरन उसको कर लेंगे, फौरन आप उसको अप्रोच कर लेंगे कि किस तरह डाटा काम करते हैं. सिमिलरली आपने वर्ड पे बनाना है या आप एक्सेल पे बनाएंगे तो बाद में आप उसको अरेंज कर सकें. बट जब आप पूरा बना लेंगे तो फिर आप उसको जो है वो फिर आखिर में हम जब सारी ड्रग्स हो जाएंगी तो हम उसको फिल्टर लगा के उसको अरेंज करेंगे अल्फाबेटिकली. हर एक का अपना प्राइम डाटा अवेलेबल होगा ताकि जब आप अपनी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में जाएं तो आपके पास एक डेटा अवेलेबल हो. अगर आप भूल भी जाएंगे तो आप क्विकली आप उसको खोल के देख सकते हैं, जो आपने खुद किया होगा आपको वो याद होगा. Case study will be discussed from the book Roger and Walker and the Gooder Kimball. This is all about the today's lecture. Thank you.